Now, there isn't much to talk about this episode of Overlord because, to be honest, I didn't see that much of importance of content in this. Because this was just a setup type of episode, like a setup to the next episode, basically. That is gonna be the big episode where the whole war starts. So, this is obviously not an episode that I most probably want to like go in depth with. So let's get straight into the episode and what it was more or less about. The first thing about this episode is Raven. Raven is it's like he's the only intelligent one in the whole political thing that's going on in this kingdom. And it's like, why is he the only one who's quite intelligent? Like it's like he knows what the situation is. He knows how dangerous the empire is and how much powerful they are. And it's like he's the only one who knows what's happening around, and then everybody else is just blind with power. So it's like, wow, I can't believe that everybody, literally, every single noble in the kingdom is literally blind with political power. Like, everybody wants this and that and this. And basically, that's the reason why they basically are not listening to any words said by Gaziv, any words said by Revan. And basically, that's what I'm seeing here. Like, these people are just dumb. Like, straight up being dumb, which is one point I want to get up to. Now, Gaziv, you know what Gaziv out of all people, because remember Gaziv is one of the strongest. I don't know if he's the strongest swordman, but I'm pretty sure he's one of the strongest swordmen in the whole, like, this world, this certain world that there is. Like, I'm not saying in the whole Nazarick, but yes, in this third world before Nazarick appeared, I think so. He was the strongest swordsman, if I'm correct. I think so. Yeah, Gaziv is the strongest swordsman uh, at this point. But you aren't gonna listen to the strongest swordsman who's literally capable of taking down about 1,000 men and gonna be like, he's just one caster. I don't give a shit. Like he can't do anything. I'm like, dude, that man literally fights, like literally is capable of taking down at least 1,000 men. So it's very obvious if that man is saying that this guy Ainz is so strong that he could end the war if he wanted to. This isn't gonna be he even said this is gonna be a yearly war. This is gonna be a quickie. It's just gonna end like that. And it's like, yes, it is obvious it's gonna end like that because Ainz is in this war, and knowing Ainz, knowing what kind of powers we have seen from him, how much stronger he is than everybody in this world, it's obvious. It's a very obvious outcome. Like this is gonna happen. Like this war is a complete loss for this kingdom. Like Irantil is gone, or like, like literally in Irantil, that's the only city Ainz wanted, but that's a goner. Now there were some bonding moments in this episode, like Raven bonding with his son and Climb, Brain, and Gazav bonding together. But other than that, there weren't like moments where I would speak about in this episode. Like, I mean, how can I speak about bonding moments? Like, it's just heartwarming. That's just a simple way to put it. Like, it's just good to see these moments. That's just how I would put it. Like, they aren't like something I want to go deep into because this is not a slice of life series or a romantic series. Like if that was the case, I would have gone deep into it. But it's not that. This is more or less an action, like an action series where like shit happens, shit just goes all the way. Action, world building, RPG, isekai and stuff. Like that's basically what it is. So yeah, that's the reason why I can't go deep into slice of life in this series because I don't want to go into too deep into slice of life of this series. Like this series is not based. Its main focus isn't slice of life. Its main focus is like action and stuff. So that's the reason why I don't want to go deep into slice of life. But yeah, it was good to see such moments like when Brain, climb, and Gazim how he's given out instructions to climb. It's just like he was given out instructions to climb back when you had to protect Princess Rainer. So it was good to see that. Now, I don't know if this will happen, but let me make a simple prediction because I do have time for that. So I'm just gonna make a quick prediction before I end the video. Uh, I'm pretty sure the intro pretty much shows it. Ainz and Gazev are gonna come front to front. They're gonna have that moment. They're gonna be having that moment where they'll be in front of each other, and they're pretty much gonna be enemies at that point. So yes, they're gonna have that moment. Most probably, uh, I'm not saying this is surely, but through what I have seen, two things can happen. Two things are a possibility through what I see here now. One, uh, we could see Brain meeting with Shaltier again. And the reason why I say this is Brain is looking for Shaltier since a long time, and he even mentions her in this episode how he wanted to know about Shaltier, and that's the reason why he went to Momon, who's basically Ainz, at his house, and to know about all this vampire stuff that Heinz was hunting for, and that was obvious because Momon knew about this in season one. Momon was asking around for Shaltier and stuff like. That's the reason why. That's the reason why he went forward and asked about Momo. So, Brain now basically was most probably Brain was a Shaltier. We could see around two on that. Most probably, I'm not saying for sure, but most probably, if I'm guessing correct, if I had to anything to predict. Another thing I could see happening is Climb versus Sebes, because it's a possibility again. Climb versus Sebes because Climb and Sebes had kind of this friendship bonding. Same, I could say same for Brain, but I think it's more about Climb and Sebes who had more or less like a master student type of relationship. So I could see that happening. So that could be a possibility. Now, this war is gonna be very unpredictable for me. I have no idea who will survive this war. I have no idea who will come out of it. Obviously, nobody from Ainz's kingdom is gonna get injured in this war. That's a very obvious thing. But anyone else, I have no idea who will survive this war. Like Gazev, Climb, uh, Brain, even the king himself and the king's son, Raven. I have no idea any of these will survive or not. Like this is gonna be such an unpredictable war because war is such an unpredictable thing in naturally because how the anime shows war, like Naruto. I mean, there were deaths in Naruto, even in the war with Naruto. But to be honest, I wouldn't see that just like a small amount of death like that. There would be a huge amount of casualties. Like, how would I give a best example of war? Like, what would be the best example of a war in an anime? Like, I have no idea. I mean, I watch a lot of animes, but I have no idea right now what would be the best example of war. Maybe freezing. That would be somewhat of a good example of a war. So maybe that anime, if anybody has watched it, I think so it's anybody has watched it because it's quite an underrated anime. So most probably you guys haven't heard or watched it by now. So maybe that, but yeah, war is such an unpredictable thing. So many things can happen in a war, and no bullshit powers up with no plot armor, bullshit power up and thing. There is a possibility anybody can die, even the main character. That's basically how the war goes. If you're the main character, it doesn't matter if you have plot armor and bullshit. Like if you remove the plot armor from the main character and just keep the war, so you're dead. The main character's dead for you. Like just imagine, all right? Just imagine. Let's take Naruto just for an example. If Naruto didn't have his six path sage mode, not six, yeah, six path sage mode, and what was that other thing? he was not a Jinchuriki, and he didn't have his frog sage thing. So imagine Naruto without that, just being a normal ninja. Right? Like, this is basically what I talk about plot armor. Like, a lot of anime has like anime normally has plot armor. All the main characters have their plot armor with them. Like, they always have this plot armor with them hanging around, and the power ups they get over and over again. But to be honest, like, that's not really how it goes when it goes to reality. Like, that may be in the anime, but in reality, the casualties will be huge in number. Like, millions of millions will die if war ever occurs. So that's basically how I see it. But let's not talk too much about war. I talk too much about that instead of talking about what's gonna happen in future episodes. But that's basically what I feel like. I have no idea who will die in this war, who will survive in this war. I could see Brain dying. I could see Gazev dying. I could even see Climb dying. Even the king, even the prince. I could see so many predictions, like so many unpredictability. Even or everyone can survive. I don't have any idea. Anything is possible. So yeah, let me know what you think about this episode of Overlord. I don't think so. I think so. I have much to speak about in this episode again because this episode was more like a setup episode. There wasn't much to talk about. It was just like, yes, we have a war coming in. You got to set up for this war. That's basically what it is. So yeah, let me know what you think about it, and I'll see you next video. As always, peace.